Number one pick is probably going to be the quarterback Bryce Young from Alabama. But because the Houston Texans won on a final game of the season, nobody thought they would. They did. They lost the number one pick. It goes to the Chicago Bears. Now the Bears already have a quarterback in Justin Fields, and we'll talk more about this maybe on our Thursday podcast. But here's Houston, which has no offense. Here's Houston has no quarterback. Houston has no head coach now. They fired Lovie Smith hours after he completed a 3-13-1 season. But just think about where they were 4 or 5 years ago, and part of this got to be the McNair ownership family too. I mean, they had Deshaun Watson, they had DeAndre Hopkins, they had J.J. Watt, they had Arian Foster, stud running back from San Diego. They had all this talent, and it's all dissipated and it's all gone for a wide variety of reasons. So they got a massive overhaul. Now they do have 2 number one picks. Maybe Chicago trades out of the number one, and Arizona, or I should say Houston, trades into the number one and maybe goes and gets Bryce Young. But there will be other quarterbacks on that draft board that they can get. But they got to get a quarterback, but they also need linemen. They need offense. They need defense. So they got 2 number ones and a high number 2. So they should start building. It'll be interesting to see who wants to go in there and run the football side of that operation. And I don't know if Nick Caserio, the general manager, is safe in his job. He came from the Patriots, and he went through this transition of getting all these older guys off the roster, and look at what he's got now. It's a horrible, horrible team. So that bears watching. And then you got the Indianapolis situation. They don't have a quarterback, and they don't have a head coach, and they got an owner that's a crazy man, and they've got a bunch of really good young players, and they're all hurt, and nobody knows if they're ever going to come back and be what many thought they would be. So Indianapolis is a disaster right there. They're going to have a high number one draft pick. I think they're picking number 5, and they don't have a quarterback. So it'll be intriguing to see how dominoes fall as we go towards the National Football League draft. But these are probably the 2 worst-run franchises in the NFL. And it's not just on quarterbacks. It's not just on coaches. I think it's an organizational leadership problem. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, you always got to start at the top. I mean, the leadership in the organization sets the tone, sets the culture, sets the direction. But as far as that game that the Texans won at the very end, it was like on a 4th and 20 with less than a minute left, and they got the touchdown. I saw a video clip in social media, and right when that touchdown was scored, all the Bears fans were cheering because they knew that was going to give them the number one. So good on them. And yeah, it's a mess in Indianapolis, and it's just still so weird with Jeff Saturday getting that head coaching job. And is he coming back? I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, they went 1-10. They're not very good at the end of the season for a wide variety of reasons. And of course, there's some other teams in the NFL that are a mess, including the Raiders. And that's another topic for another time. Last